Hey guys, how's it going? This video probably will not be as long as the last glue gunner video, but hopefully I'll get all the points across. First of all, where do you want to put a boat? Well, you want to put them on water. If you don't put them on water, probably not going to do too good. Ha ha ha, that was a joke. Anyways, this is probably the only time I'm actually going to go on this map for explaining individual towers, and that's because there's no water on the other map, so I have to deal with this water right here, and hopefully I'll get a good enough explanation for the boat on this map. Usually, where do you want to put a boat? Obviously, where you're going to want to put it on water, and you're going to have to put it somewhere where you're going to get the most popping power out or the most shots out, and that's pretty much makes sense. Also, on some levels, you might want to watch out. You might want to put your boat somewhere where it shoots down a straight line, because this guy can shoot darts that pop like 5 or 6 balloons or something like that. I don't know the exact amount. You guys could tell me in the info if you want, but I really don't care too much. Just know that it does pop quite a few balloons, and then you have these grape shots right here that pop a few stray balloons along the side. And usually if you get close enough, you can usually get quite a few pops out of each shot of the boat. Now, is a boat good? A boat is pretty good, but I can usually find towers that are better, that are less expensive, so I usually end up doing that. I mean, this is probably the only level where you can use a boat really super effective. Most other levels, it's not really worth it that much. You can definitely find, like, you can get boomerangs or dart monkeys that get more popping power instead of the boat. Now, the good thing about the boat is it usually has a lot of range. You can get quite a few range upgrades and hit pretty much all the balloons anywhere near it. So that's one of the good things about the boats. One of the bad things about the boats, it's really not that much bad about the boat. It's just some of the upgrades are kind of expensive, and they really don't get that much popping power. There's really only one upgrade I really don't like about the boat, and it does have good things about it, and I just usually end up not using it because I can find better ways to do things. Now let's get started with the upgrades. First of all, you usually don't want to just get faster shooting by itself. I mean, this guy just shoots regular darts right now, and if you get faster shooting, it's going to shoot regular darts just a little bit faster. And I'm going to talk about grape shot a little bit later, but let me just say right now that getting faster shooting is probably not the best thing to do first. Usually you want to get grape shot because you're going to get a lot more pops out per shot. And then once you get grape shot, you can get faster shooting, and faster shooting with grape shot is definitely a good combination to get for the boat. So after you get faster shooting, the next upgrade is a longer cannon, which now in this level, longer cannon is going to help a bunch. On most levels, longer cannon really doesn't help that much. The reason why longer cannon does help on this level a lot is because if you put the boat somewhere in this corner right here, and you get longer cannons, which obviously is just a little bit more range upgrade, you can shoot all the balloons over here and over here, so it gives you a lot more time to pop balloons. Another weird thing about the boats is for placement is you can put them usually in a lot of weird places that you really wouldn't expect to. Now it's like, oh, I can't put them here, but I can put them up here. And then, oh, I can't put them down here. Oh, wait, I can put them down here. And then you can put like a bunch of them right here. And you can also put them really close together. You can overlap boats a lot. So it might not look like it, but I can actually put a boat right on top of this boat. Kind of weird. So the next upgrade for the boat is this guy right here, which is the Destroyer. And now the range upgrade, usually, like I said, you don't want to get it, but for this level it's really good. And the Destroyer, this is really one of those upgrades where I'm just like, yeah, I don't know about this one. It's kind of expensive. I'd almost rather just get a bunch of 1-1 boats instead of this Destroyer right here. And now in Bloons Tower Defense 4, the reason why the Destroyer was so good is because when it said, oh, it shoots super duper fast, it not only shot the darts super duper fast, it also shot the grape shot really, really fast. So that made it have a lot of popping power. Now in this game, they realized, oh crap, we made the boats too good. Also, by the way, it's called a Monkey Buccaneer. I call it a boat, so don't get mad at me for calling it a boat, just because it is a boat, even though it is a Monkey Buccaneer. So, the boat, when you upgraded it to a Destroyer, like I was saying, it doesn't get extra grape shot shots. So its popping power isn't even that good. Like I said, I would prefer to get 1-1 Monkey Buccaneers instead of this guy right here. And that's, maybe they buffed it a little bit, I'm not really sure. I mean, this is definitely me thinking of when I used to actually use boats quite a bit, because when I switched from Bloons Tower Defense 4 to 5, I was like, oh my god, the boats were amazing in 4, I'm going to use them in this game. And then I realized, they're not as good as I really thought. So I'm not going to use them as much as I used to. And honestly, I barely ever use them anymore. There's some daily challenges where I'm like, oh, I better use them here. Most of the time, I'm just like, I can find better ways to use them. Even on like Archipelago, on those type levels, I don't even really need the boats that much. I can use these towers a lot better. So the good thing about the destroyer is it has a lot of Moab popping power. And you might say, well, yeah, I guess, but it doesn't really have that much popping power, and that's definitely true. So, I mean, this guy can probably pop the Moab, I think, by himself. Let's see. I don't know. But I know he probably will. He can actually have quite a bit of ceramic popping power, too, because he shoots so fast. But the problem is, let's see. Oh, man, that was so close. I bet you if I get Grape Shot, he'll be able to pop one. Anyways. Yeah, it has a lot of Moab popping power and some ceramic popping power, but once it gets down to rainbows and zebras and all those lower tier balloons, it's really just bad. It just doesn't have that much popping power, especially for a tower that has $2,200 plus other upgrades. And oh, there we go, it actually did pop the Moab. So it can't pop a Moab by itself, but it's going to do no other damage to the other balloons. I mean, it hit like the ceramic just a tiny bit. So let me resell this guy. I guess it really doesn't even matter, because once you upgrade to aircraft carrier, it gets rid of regular shots. So let me show you that again. It looks like it shoots grape shot still, which is weird, but it doesn't shoot any more darts. So that just looks kind of weird. It gets rid of its regular shot and starts shooting grape shots, at least according to what I see. I don't see anything else. Now the good thing about this guy is, you might say, oh yeah, it barely just popped the Moab just like the other one. And this is a set $15,000 or $17,000 upgrade. How much did it cost? I forget how much it costs on medium. $15,000. It was a $15,000 upgrade to get this guy. It better be worth it, right? It didn't even pop that Moab all the way. For $15,000? Yeah, it didn't really pop the Moab all the way. But the thing is, if you send out like 10 Moabs, it's going to pop probably them just about the same amount. And probably pop all of those Moabs, but not do as much damage to the ceramics, obviously, just like before. So, I mean, yeah, it did a lot of damage here. I mean, I don't even know how it got all the way through without the Moab popping till over here when all these guys are pretty much getting popped down here. So, yeah, it popped all those Moabs. So, yeah, it's like, oh, so versus one thing, it's really not that good, but versus a bunch, it is pretty good. So that makes sense. Usually you're not going to just see one Moab. You're going to see Moabs interlaced with ceramics, interlaced with BFBs, and all these random balloons. So this guy's actually pretty good. Now, would I recommend getting him? Depends on the strategy. Now, normally, I'd say don't ever get this, but in the certain daily challenges, there is definitely ways you can use this. And in regular games, like hard or medium, I'd say it's just almost too expensive to get this upgrade. I probably wouldn't get it. I think you're better off with the Spectre or just getting a Robo-Plasma instead of this upgrade. $15,000 is quite a bit of money, plus the previous upgrades, by the way. Plus the previous upgrades. So would I get this guy? Meh, nah, I don't think so. I mean, maybe, I guess. I mean, you could use him if you have certain strategies, but just, in my opinion, no. In my opinion, don't get him. Let's switch over to the other side. Now, for this map, you definitely want to upgrade probably Grape Shot first, and then get faster shooting and more range. Most of the maps, you want to probably get Grape Shot first as well. But I could definitely see on certain maps where you have a straightaway where you want to get this first. But for the most part, you definitely want to get Grape Shot first. And then, once you get Grape Shot, you probably don't want to just get like a 0, 0.2 or 0.3 tower. Nah. You probably want to get faster shooting first. But, let's just go along with this. Crow's Nest, is it that important? Not really. I mean, the stupid thing about the Buccaneers is the specialty building is that it can see the camo balloons without even this upgrade, and it has the ability to show towers around it, camos. So that was one of the worst specialty building ideas ever, I think. But this can be helpful. I mean, especially if you're kind of a newbie at the game. This is one of the best ways to get camo detection. Besides using ninjas. I mean, usually you're gonna have. Once you're an advanced player, you can find ways to get camo balloons pretty easily. Like, especially if you get a Spike Factory or something like that. But right now, I mean, if you're a really big noob, I mean, Buccaneers can definitely help. The next upgrade is the cannon ship. And the cannon ship has its own personal range upgrade, which if you look at this, its range went up. So let's show you if it goes even more with longer cannons. It does. So you get 2 range upgrades. Look how big this range is for this cannon right here. And obviously, just a regular cannon, 0-3 cannon, is not fantastic. But if you get faster shooting, it can be better. So get faster shooting if you're going to get the cannon. It does. Excuse me, it does make it shoot actually faster. So that's a little bit important. You don't want to just get a 0-3 cannon, pay the $400, and get the faster shooting for the cannon. You're getting a lot more popping power out of it. Now this guy, he's only really good for specific balloons. And by that I mean, he doesn't really have that much popping power, because the cannons often will not pop the zebras or blacks, and you need the darts or the grape shots to pop those before you can get some good popping power in. So it's kind of like, not random, but it's kind of dependent on how your towers are doing to pop balloons. Now this guy versus pink balloons, he'll probably do pretty darn good. I mean, he'll probably pop most of these. He's obviously missing quite a bit, but I mean, the cannon does do a lot of damage to these balloons, so you can get a lot of popping power out of it for a $1,200 tower. Now on the other hand, if you send probably a bunch of black balloons out, it's probably going to be limited quite a bit, just because his darts and his grape shot are not hitting the blacks as well as they should, and the cannon is not being able to use as much popping power as it should. Now obviously, the more balloons you send, the better off this guy is, because it gets more and more popping power with those explosions. So this guy can be good if you have a lot of levels where there's a bunch of just random excuse me, there's just a bunch of random balloons coming by. But on average, there's not that many levels that just have a bunch of random balloons coming by. They're usually pretty structured, and you usually probably don't need this guy. So I mean, level maybe 37, 38, he can be a little bit helpful, but overall, not really. So that's why I would say, don't really get the cannon ship. You're better off with just a couple low tier boats, and that's the best thing for your playing style. Is just, if you're going to use boats, use low tier boats to get a lot of popping power out of them. They do have quite a bit of popping power, and it's kind of accurate, but it's not super duper accurate. Depends on the level. But if you're going to get boats, probably don't want to get any of the 3rd tier upgrades. Just stick with the low level Buccaneers. Now the last upgrade for the Buccaneer is this guy right here with which is Monkey Pirates, and like I was saying before, the 3-0 Buccaneer can pop them ups pretty well. But this guy has the ability to pop Moabs in one little ability. And this guy can also pop BFBs in one ability. Now I'm going to wait for it to come back, but that's pretty interesting that I can pop a BFB with one ability. This is actually used very well on some of the daily challenges, but I can't really see myself using it too much in the regular game. In the regular game, I mean, you're talking $1,200 plus $4,500 plus the cost of the boat plus a couple other upgrades, so you're talking, you know, like $8,000. I mean, yeah, oh, $8,000 take out a Moab, yeah, but then you gotta wait this whole entire Moab takedown ability thing, and it's just really not worth it. You'd rather get towers that can pop Moabs just kind of easily instead of waiting for this ability. Like, I mean, once you get to some of the rounds where the Moabs come kind of all at the same time, like level 53 and 54, this is almost worthless. That's why this is kind of bad. It can be used, like I said, in a lot of daily challenges, and if you somehow can make this work in strategies where you get like 2 or 3 of these guys, I don't see how or why you would want to do that, but I guess you could. I mean, it would work pretty well for most levels if you get like 4 of them, because really not that many Moabs come. I think 4 Moabs tops come until level 64, so if you can get 4 of these guys before 64, you can just keep using the ability every time Moabs come. Hey, go ahead. If you feel like doing that, go ahead, but get a Roboplasma instead. That'll even beat it'll beat everything up to level, even including 64, if you get a couple other support towers. So yeah, get a Roboplasma instead of just massing these guys. These guys really are not that good, but they can be somewhat useful in the daily challenges. Now, just to recap, what kind of Buccaneer should you use? You really don't want to get any high level Buccaneers. Sometimes you can get a 4-2 Buccaneer that can be very useful for mass amounts of balloons around 80 to 85. Not really as much in 95, but 80 through 84. Right around there, you can get quite a bit of Moab popping power and popping power with the 4-0 Buccaneer. But most of the time, you're just going to use the Buccaneers kind of early game and get 1-0. I mean, not 1-0. 1-1 Buccaneers, and that's going to give you quite a bit of popping power. And that's really all you're going to use with the Buccaneers. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please press the like button. I'll definitely appreciate that. Have a really nice day.